This is Leadership TV. See ahead, move ahead, stay ahead.
Thank you for joining me on this leadership series with me, Bishop Titi Ofe. We'll be looking at the 7 pillars of wisdom and the leadership lessons from it. So leadership insights from the 7 pillars of wisdom as part of our 30-part series on leadership. And so far, we've looked at the first pillar of wisdom, which is prudence, and we discussed prudential leadership. We've looked at the second pillar of wisdom, which is knowledge, and we discussed cognitive leadership. We've also looked at the third pillar of wisdom, which is discretion, and then we discussed discretionary leadership. Today, we are looking at the fourth pillar of wisdom, which is counsel. So we'll be looking at advisory leadership. Now, the law of consultation states your advisors determine your advancement. So as a leader, the advancement of people around you is a reflection of how competent you are as an advisory leader. And the advice of people around you, the counsel of people around you, the people you consult also determine your advancement. So also assess yourself and see your velocity in life and in leadership, how fast you are advancing. It's a reflection of the people you take advice from. So at the heart of advisory leadership is advancement. How fast you move based on the advice you receive as a leader, and how fast the people around you also move, develop, grow as a result of the advice that you provide to these people. It's important for you to understand this. And I want you to take these things I'm going to share with you very seriously. If you want to grow the people around you, if you want to help them move on, the advice that you provide for them. Sometimes, leaders, we want to wait until there's training, and then you train people. But you see, 90% of the communication you have with people in the office are usually very casual communication. Very casual communication with the people in your team. You sit down to eat, and then there's a conversation. They come to visit the office, there's a conversation. Use these little casual, unofficial conversation to provide tidbits of advice. It will help develop these people. 5 minutes of advice, very good concrete advice based on evidence, based on research, can help lay the foundation of someone for the next 5 years. Here are the 7 advisory skills that every progressive leader must have and should be able to provide. Number 1, family life advisory. You see, people regularly shuttle between 3 sets of families: church family, work family, and home family. The impact of home family is very crucial because people spend more time between home family and work family. You are at work with them. You are on the team with them. When they have frustrations, you can help them. But you are not with the home family with them. And the home family, whatever problems they have in the home, they bring it to the office. From marital problems to parental problems are all brought into even sibling problems affect the performance of the people on your team or the people who follow you. And that is why you should be interested in knowing their family and the challenges that they find within the family. Almost everybody that works for me, I have a relationship with the people's family. I try to know them, know their wives, know their children, even know their parents, and be able to offer family life advice. The second is healthy life advisory. As part of the things we are doing for our new infrastructure, new building for our university, I'm insisting that there must be a gym. And I'm going to make it compulsory for every member of staff to go to the gym twice a week. Because a healthy mind is wealth for the organization. And it also helps in productivity. So help your staff in developing powerful, healthy lifestyle. It will help in their performance. Then finance and investment advisory. No matter how much you pay people, if you don't help them in making wise financial decisions, they will still not appreciate how much you pay them. You see, people develop lifestyle and demand salaries to finance it. But it should be the other way around. Your salary must determine your lifestyle. If you don't help people understand this, no matter how much you pay them, they will still think you're not paying them enough. The fourth is career advisory. I spend a lot of time with the young people around me to advise them as to the kind of career choices they must take in order for them to either become successful in our team or wherever they want to work. In some cases, I've invited them to tell me their career plans. In other cases, I've invited them to discuss what I have noticed about them and the kind of career path they must take that can really help them. And I've been very selfless in providing this advice. In some cases, I provided advice for people who eventually have to leave my service, even though I appreciate their competence and their contribution. But I'm more interested in they building careers than they just serving in our organization. This selfless advice, what you give them, motivates people to even work better and stronger. Just before this video was taken, I was advising one of the finest videographer I've ever met. I was advising him on how he can build his career in order for him to be able to manage a production house. Of course, I want to keep him in my company forever, but I must also ensure that he must outgrow us and become bigger than us, and therefore have to provide that kind of career advisory. And this actually motivates the people in your team to work harder and better for you. Social life advisory. One of the key things you must also understand is that the kind of social life that the people who work for you or work around you or follow you have also impact on their performance in your team. You should, whilst you cannot determine for them the kind of social life they must have, you should be able to provide a certain advice that can help them build solid and strong social lifestyle. The sixth advice is academic life advisory. Help people to learn. Advise them on the kind of courses that they can take to enhance their careers. And do that and help them. They will love you more. They will love you more. Then, the seventh you should do is spiritual life advisory. If you watch the previous one, I discussed how providing spiritual life and helping people to grow in their spiritual life and their relationship with Jesus also impacts on their work. Leaders don't only have to be the people who must provide advice. They must also be advised, because your advancement is based on that. The secret of the success of Pharaoh was the advice Joseph provided in Genesis 41. After he discussed his dream with Joseph, and Joseph has said that you are going to have 7 years of abundance and 7 years of famine. Joseph went from there and provided advice on how to manage the 7 years of abundance across the 7 years of famine. It was that advice Joseph gave that actually helped Pharaoh to transform his kingdom into a superpower in the midst of scarcity. So actually, great leaders are surrounded by great advisors. That's why the corridors of power and influence are filled with people who are knowledgeable, who can provide advice. So leaders, surround yourself with very great advisors. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope it's been a blessing to you on advisory leadership. I'll see you again, and we will look at the fifth pillar of wisdom and how it impacts on leadership. The mission of the Titi Ofe Center is to provide all manner of leadership learning opportunities to all manner of leaders in all manner of ways, mostly at no cost to these leaders who study at the Titi Ofe Center. To be able to finance the Titi Ofe Center and make sure that our projects are sustainable, I want to invite you to buy the Titi Ofe books. on Amazon. Any book you buy is donated to the Titi Affairs Center for the development and the training of the next generation of godly servant leaders. Titi Affairs Center every year hosts the African Young Leaders Fellowship Program, where we attract young leaders from across Africa free of charge for a 10-day leadership development program. We also host MELT, the Management, Entrepreneurship and Leadership Training Program. And this attracts also young men and women who spend weekends with us here at no cost to them at all. Titi Affairs Center also hosts some of the biggest young pastors leadership conference. Is called IPLAS, the International Pastors and Leaders Under 40 Summit, where we house over 3,000 young pastoral leaders at no cost to them at all in our facilities. And we want you to support us to keep doing these things. Recently, we signed an MOU with the biggest student organization in Ghana, NUGS, the National Union of Ghana Students, to provide free leadership training to student leaders across the country. This is worth supporting. And above all, the Titi Affairs Center is also a mission center where this training offers us the opportunity to serve Jesus with our participants. Why don't you support the Titi Affairs Center by buying a Titi Affairs book, by creating a Titi Affairs library right now? Do it now, and the Lord will bless you.
This is Leadership TV. See ahead, move ahead, stay ahead.